Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Alyssa, I'm 34 years old, and I am documenting my financial journey here on YouTube. And I'm currently on a mission to invest as much as I possibly can this year, and I'm using YNAB to help me do that. And I'm here this week to budget my weekly gross paycheck. No extra money this week, although I am currently pet sitting right now, so apologies in advance if you hear any clickety-clacks in the background. I am pet sitting, so I will be getting paid for that, and I will budget that money on my next week's budget with me. So just my normal weekly paycheck for now. But I'm so sorry. This is probably so boring to like 99% of you, but I have to document more of my solo 401k saga because this is the most exciting thing going on in my life right now. Or it's not even exciting yet. It's just been this adventure of, I don't know, it's been the most drama in my life that I've had at the moment. So I mentioned in previous videos that I was going to see this tax advisor once I got back from traveling. I was going to see this tax advisor and talk to him about how I can go about opening a solo 401k. And just a reminder, why did that come out weird? Just a reminder, I currently have a SEP IRA. And I have already contributed to 2024 into my SEP IRA. So my problem is with the type of SEP IRA that I have, I am not allowed to contribute to two different retirement plans under the same business in the same tax year. So I cannot just go and open a solo 401k now and start contributing to that, even though I would stay under the contribution limits. I'm not trying to like over contribute or anything. You just can't contribute to two different retirement plans in the same year with the type of SEP IRA that I have. It's called a model form 5305 SEP with the IRS. Like it's an IRS form, and most financial institutions that offer this kind of SEP IRA offer this model SEP IRA from the IRS. I probably just because it's easiest, because it's just an IRS form that you fill out and you keep for your records, and it's the IRS lays out the rules for the plan and everything, and you're just agreeing to it, and then your custodian is agreeing to be the custodian, is my understanding. So there is another type of SEP IRA that's just called like a prototype plan, and it's a more custom plan that some financial institutions offer, and it just offers a little bit more flexibility. It's not a model IRS plan, but it's still approved by the IRS, a prototype plan. But with a prototype plan, there are no restrictions on how many retirement accounts that you can contribute to in the given year. So my whole problem is I'm trying to like figure out how to legally go about just being able to transition to a solo 401k this year, because I'm going to be able to contribute a lot towards my retirement this year. I'm really focusing on investments. And if I were able to open a solo 401k, I know for a fact, pretty much, well, I'm 99% sure that I would be able to max out the $23,000 limit for the employee contributions, and then maybe like, I don't know, 5,000 to 10,000 on the employer side, possibly, depending on how much extra income I make this year and like my bonus at the end of the year, yada yada. So that's why I'm like trying so hard to open this account, because with my SEP IRA, the limits are just so much smaller. Like I can only contribute $10,000 to $13,000 into my SEP IRA, and I'm trying to contribute like closer to $30,000, right? I'm trying to just get more tax benefits, be able to lower my taxes, and I would lower my health insurance premiums because I get health insurance under the healthcare.gov marketplace. And so if I contributed $23,000 to a solo 401k, I would be lowering my gross income and getting more of a tax credit for my healthcare. So yeah, this would be saving me thousands of dollars in taxes this year, basically. That's why I'm trying so hard to do this. And if I would have known this before, I wish I would have done a little bit more research so that I wouldn't have contributed to my SEP IRA in 2024. I wish I would have waited, but this is the position that we're in. So I was going to see this tax guy to see how I can legally go about like undoing my contributions towards my SEP IRA this year and closing that account and transitioning to a solo 401k instead. And moving forward, I would just contribute to a solo 401k. And this tax guy, he sounded confident in his email to me. Like when I reached out to him with my specific situation, like I was very specific about what type of SEP IRA I had and my current problem, and that I'm trying to open a solo 401k. So he sounded confident that he could help me, but then when I actually met with him, I think this situation is just so like niche, and I understand that not every tax professional, CPA, is going to know exactly what to do in every single scenario that exists, I understand that they probably have to like maybe do a little bit more research or reach out to colleagues in specific situations, kind of like doctors too. Like you might go to the doctor with a problem and they might not know right away, they can use their knowledge to like figure it out. But, so I understand that. I was just hoping, because he sounded confident in like being able to help me when we booked my consultation, I just thought he would have more experience with this and be, like have dealt with this before so that he knows exactly what to do. But he didn't really. Like we were kind of figuring it out together, and I basically kind of had to like figure it out myself. So I paid $200 to see this tax guy, which is very reasonable to me. And it's kind of almost like a retainer, like, I don't know if that's the right word, but I can basically freely ask him tax-related questions now. So that's cool, like that's what that $200 includes, It was the consultation to help me, and then, I am free to ask him tax questions and get like tax advice from him. And then I will probably use him to file my taxes at the end of the year. But I'm just a little disappointed that the $200 is not, it didn't really get me closer to opening a solo 401k, because I basically kind of had to explain more about like why I'm having the trouble that I'm having. So he didn't really have an answer for me during the meeting, but he said that he would do more research and get back to me. And he did get back to me later that day or the next day. He told me that I could roll over my SEP IRA into a Fidelity rollover IRA and then open a solo 401k and roll that IRA into the solo 401k eventually, which that is correct. However, when I called Fidelity about this to confirm that this is what I could do, the retirement advisor at Fidelity was like, yes, that's totally how it would work. However, since you already contributed to 2024 in your SEP IRA, that process of rolling over would not undo that contribution. So if I do it that way, I would basically have to wait until 2025 to be able to contribute to the solo 401k to, legally do this. So I was like, crap. So I asked the Fidelity guy, does he know of any way to basically like undo those contributions? And he said, from his understanding, any sort of withdrawal or filing for removal of excess contributions from my SEP would not like undo the situation, because it's not an over contribution. It's like I'm just withdrawing the funds. And he just said from his understanding, like there's not really a way for me to do that. And I'm basically stuck and I need to wait until 2025, which is like It's so frustrating because this is such a niche situation. Like, even when you Google it online, you only really find people in forums who are like me, who are like begging for anyone for advice or answers on how to do this. Like, there has to be a way. And there aren't really super definitive answers. It's just a lot of people like kind of guessing. And so it's just really frustrating that my tax advisor and this Fidelity guy, and I had called a month ago, I had spoken to Vanguard, and they told me that I would be able to do this by filing for an excess fund removal or like excess contribution removal of my SEP. They said that I would be able to do that to open a solo 401k and contribute it to this year. So yeah, even between all three of these professionals, they're all giving me all different answers. So I was like, okay, I remembered coming across a forum post last month when I was researching this, when I realized that the type of SEP IRA that I have is a problem that I contributed this year and, trying to open a solo 401k. I remember reading this forum post about how like this one specific person got around this. And so I mentioned that there's a prototype SEP IRA that does allow you to contribute to 2 retirement accounts in the same year. So Charles Schwab offers these prototype SEP IRAs. So what this person did is they transferred their SEP IRA to Charles Schwab and got it amended to be the prototype plan, and then you backdate the effective date. Like when you amend your plan to a Charles Schwab plan, the new effective date of your plan is the first day of the year that you're signing this amendment. So it's nothing like shady or anything. That's literally just how it works. You get it backdated to the first of the year, and then in the IRS's eyes and legally and everything, my SEP IRA has been the prototype plan since the beginning of the year. So the contributions that I made this year, if I were to do that, would be under the prototype plan. And so I could then open a solo 401k and contribute it to this year. So I called Charles Schwab and confirmed this. I spoke to a man and he was like, "You sound so well researched, like you know your stuff." And I was like, "Dude, I have been to the depths of the internet scouring forums, and I found this one guy who mentioned that this is possible, and I'm just like trying to see if it's possible, because there has to be some legal way to do this. Like, it's crazy. It seems like straightforward, but no one really knows how to do it legally besides just waiting till the next tax year." So this guy was basically confirming, like, yes, I can get my plan amended to be this prototype plan under Charles Schwab, and then I will be able to open my solo 401k and contribute to it. And I wrote back to my tax advisor and I told him all of this. I told him, like, I spoke to the guy at Fidelity. Your solution would be fine if I hadn't already contributed this year, or if I wanted to wait until next year, I could do the whole rollover situation. But then I told him about this Schwab thing and the prototype plan. And I was just like, okay, my question to you as my tax advisor, is this correct? Like, can I go ahead and do this? Is this correct? And, am I going to get in trouble with the IRS or anything? So he gave me the go ahead. He's like, yes, you're correct. Good to go. So I am going to go with it. I'm still not any closer yet. Like, I was really hoping that I would have already opened my solo 401k by now and been contributing, but it's been a journey. So, oh my gosh, I'm like out of breath talking about this. I have spoken to so many people in the last couple of days. Like, I am exhausted trying to open this account, but I am so determined, and everyone's telling me no, but like Charles Schwab told me yes. So I need to start doing that. I need to like submit some paperwork to transfer my SEP IRA and just take it one step at a time. Once it's transferred, then I have to like file for an EIN and open my solo 401k and all that. But one step at a time, that's the plan. So that is why this week I'm still not physically investing my money. I'm still saving for my future solo 401k, but yeah, that is the state of that. So, let's start budgeting. So, we're going to put my normal $300 towards my next month fund. And we're also going to keep doing $350 towards my weekly taxes just in case I don't want to cut how much I'm saving for taxes until I open that solo 401k and start contributing to that, because until I do that, I'm not getting the tax savings, so I want to make sure that I have savings for, should I have to pay my quote unquote normal taxes this year with not having a solo 401k. Okay, and then per my little fun money ramble last week, I am now giving myself $100 a week for fun. So I am really looking forward to that. And yeah, I don't really have much to say about that. I spoke a lot about it last week, and I'm just excited to see how it goes. And maybe possibly after I move out into my own apartment this year, possibly this will be going up even more, but to be continued. So then this all looks good. Okay, I will need gas. I might not need it this week, but I don't want to have nothing, because I am pet sitting and I drive a little bit more back and forth while I'm pet sitting, because I'll go home for dinner to hang out with my mom and stuff. So I do use more gas. So yeah, we'll just give it to me, even though I might not fill up till like next paycheck anyway. Okay, and then this is bothering me that this isn't back to its normal $750, so I'm just gonna fill this up and get that back up to $750. This is my sinking fund for future vacations and travel. And I would like to get it to maybe 1,000 in the future, but $750 is good for now. Also, I have like 800 Chase dollars to spend, and that's what from credit card points, Chase rewards, that's what I use to buy plane tickets normally. So this money covers like Airbnb or like the fun that I'm having while I'm traveling, or just anything besides plane tickets. And I can book like hotels and stuff through Chase, but I normally don't. But I haven't been traveling that much. So like last month when I was in Oregon, I was with my brother, so I didn't pay for like an Airbnb or anything. So yeah. Anyway, so let's just throw the $31.87 into my car fund. And yeah, that's all good. Good. And then we're gonna go ahead and throw the $700 into my future solo 401k. And hopefully in June. So my goal for the rest of May is to get my SEP IRA transferred to Schwab successfully and like be amended to the prototype plan. And then I can open my solo 401k. And yeah, hopefully by June I am able to contribute to that. Anyway, thank you so much if you watched this whole thing and you weren't bored to death. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next time. All right, bye guys.